Hello and welcome to Scary Town, the Goosebumps and Fear Street review show. I'm Nightmare Nemo, and this week we're continuing our adventure in the Fear Street Cheerleaders saga with the third evil. And there's the back there. So it says, fight, 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 or die, die, die. So it's a little chant there. This cover is like, it has to be like the most ridiculous one so far, because it has she's like jumping and kind of like doing a little split over a grave, and it's like Sarah Shear's grave, and then it has the little pendant of Go Team on top of the grave mound there. It's so stupid. But it works, you know. So this book is a return to form. It's definitely a step up from the disappointing second evil. It has more of a return of the cheerleading aspect of the story, because the premises here is that there's this cheerleading camp that they go to for like a week, and they're competing against other schools like around the country, I think, or something like that. Once again, some strange stuff is happening again, because evil never dies and whatnot. And we're introduced to some new characters, particularly Hannah is the newest girl to the squad, and she's like this little it's like the little sister of the group. She's like really annoying, and she's more energetic than the other cheerleaders, and it's kind of a show off. You're like, oh, I really hope something bad happens. And so some bad things start happening to Hannah, and she kind of points fingers to her roommates, because she's staring in a room with Corky and Kimmy. And so immediately, you're looking at Kimmy, because Kimmy was the last one that was the host to the evil, and so you're like, okay, it's deja vu. But the first part is primarily into the cheerleading camp, and some of their horrible stuff happens to some other cheerleaders there, and it starts building. It's like, who could it be? Could it be Kimmy again? Could it be one of the other cheerleaders? And once it gets past the first part, then it goes after what happens in the camp, and the new host is like somebody like you never would have thought, reading this, and it is like, it totally changes the whole feel of the book. So you're just like, oh, now this person is the host of the evil. And it's just, at this point, it was like, it was other people, and you're like, the rules have been just changed, and you're just like, how could this happen? And you just have to deal with it, and it becomes a struggle with the person who's the host of the evil to deal with it, and to try to stop themselves from hurting other people. And it is very much like this kind of Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing. You kind of lose control, and you become like this monster, and that's very cool. And it just creates a lot of this drama and whatnot, and it's very interesting to read. Kimmy is back to normal, so she's back to being her own sassy self, and Hannah, the new character, is kind of sidelined. So you're not supposed to like her. She's not a likable character, but Deborah becomes more of a she gets more presence in this one as well, and she's still sticking to being like, she's interested in the cult and just trying to help Corky figure out what's going on. And it definitely has a really good conclusion, and it just ramps up. It's like a suspense movie. It's just like you're just like it's a real page turner, and you're like want to find out what happened. It's crazy because you almost think somebody is gonna bite the dust, but you'll have to read to see what happens. But it's everything wraps up in a nice conclusion, and it feels like, because I already know there's other books in the series, but it definitely feels like this was a definitive end, and you're like, okay, and it's a trilogy, so it's just like this fits together, and the story's over. But of course, it's popular enough, and they wanted to continue it, so you know, it's. I mean, the second one was just so blah, and this one actually has more to it because Corky's trying to become a better cheerleader and helping her team, and just more stuff going on there, and it feels like everyone's trying to get back to normal after the second evil. The second evil was just really everything was very dreary and just kind of sad because they're just kind of getting over the death of Bobby, and then I mean, I guess it really shows like nobody really cared about Chip because they barely mention him. I mean, it's he was kind of a waste of a character anyway, so who really cares? And Kimmy definitely feels like she's worried because all these bad things are happening around them, and she's thinking like, is the evil possessing me again? And she's very questioning herself, like, do I sound strange, or have I been acting differently? And it's very interesting to kind of put her in that situation. And like I said, it's just that twist once you just like it changes everything. You're like, I can't believe this person is the host, and it's very cool because R.L. Stine, like from the Goosebumps, he makes like these cheesy twist endings and stuff, but this one, like each one, there's always the mystery of who the new host of the evil is, and in this is just like it questions like anybody could be the host of the evil now, and it's like nobody's off limits, and it's just great because you like when I was reading I was thinking like, okay, this person is definitely the evil, or I've already figured out the mystery, I've already discovered like what their motives and stuff are, and then once you hit that twist after the second part, or after the first part, and after that first part you're just like, wow, I was totally wrong. And it's just great that he plays with like the mystery of it, and it's just great. It wraps up, and it should have ended there, but it continues on, and I mean that's fine too, as I've grown to become quite attached to these characters. For the most part, there's the holy trinity of Corky, Deborah, and Kimmy. They're obviously the most fleshed out characters. So it's just a lot of fun. And if you enjoyed the Cheerleaders from the first book, I feel like with some tweaks, this should have been the second sequel. And just completely get rid of the second evil, because it doesn't really, its existence is there, and it really feels like it's there to just propel, like make the third one even better. But maybe with some tweaks, the third evil could have been the second evil, and it could have been a worthy sequel to the first book. So I don't know, this is just my personal opinion. This one is definitely worth reading. It's phenomenal. The second part, it ramps up and it puts you in a place you didn't think you would be, and it's just a great read. If you enjoy the first one, definitely check this one out. So that's all I got for this episode. stay tuned next time where we discuss the new evil. And we see what happens with the cast of characters and who becomes the new evil, or whatever that means. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.